on your various social media networks, sharing it with friends and family. And if you are able to do so, we do truly appreciate financial support in the form of the monies, which you can do through direct donations or supporting us with a regular monthly donation over on Patreon. All of that is incredibly helpful for helping keep the studio afloat. And I think that's all of our announcements. I know how to do this. I did it. So with that, we're going to reintroduce our cast for this season. It is our first episode, so I'll have them introduce who they are and just a little bit about who they're playing, kind of their usual spiel. And then I have my little recap, guys. I recalculated the Tridium year. So stay tuned for that exciting little tidbit of information. So I'm going to start with someone we're glad to see back on the internet after her forever hiatus.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lizzie the Bold. You can find me at Lizzie the Bold on Twitch and Twitter. I am a part-time streamer, full-time internet hermit, and I am playing Ziana. She is the captain of the Batleth, the debatable leader of this crew, and she is also, for physical appearance, she is about 7 feet tall and kind of a lizard-ish looking, red, and just a general badass with, like, she's a brick house, basically. I think that's it. I don't know. Guys, I haven't done this in a really long time.
No, I think that's everything. Who's next to you?
Hi, my name
Not on Team Power Bot.
Not on Team Power. My name is Claudia Vaughn. Twitch and Twitter I go by Jackie Dash. JAKIDASH.
I'm definitely not gonna lie. When you said my name is Claudia on Twitter, and I genuinely heard.
What just happened?
My name is Claudia Vaughn, and I was like, your name is
Claudia
Vaughn
Jackie Dash.
I love it.
I was looking. Where?
It's by your butt.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell him. The sound is too loud on the table, right, Anna? This is good. It's fine. Okay, good. I'm trying to be good with the sound and the speakers.
I mean, as if I wasn't freaked out enough by the wig, but you know.
What wig?
That one.
That's true.
But I play Kika. So Kika is a Trico, which is, by Earth standards, just a big bat. She is the engineer, the chief engineer, and she fixes things. Sometimes she has to break them first, but they do get fixed. She's also mostly
the only engineer, so
I would say 97% blind, but really good hearing.
Really good hearing.
Really good hearing.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sarah. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at ShellGame. And I play Thea Brone, who is a mostly humanoid-looking character, except for her fingers, which are long and bend in weird places, much like an octopus's tentacle, but without the suckers, or a dog's tail. So very, very, very dexterous fingers, which come in very handy when you are...
Handy. Ha ha ha.
When you're trying to collect new items for yourself that may or may not belong or formerly have belonged to other people.
I have an inquiry from chat.
Yeah?
Does she have fingernails?
No, we clarified that she didn't.
I think she doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't need them.
Yeah, why would she have them?
I actually imagine the end of the fingers are more like little suckers. They're can depress and grip onto things that way. Weird.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. It's usually pointy, but if she depresses, then the point goes in and creates the suction.
No.
Oh, that's gross. Yeah.
No, Team Sparkle Top is not okay with this.
I was gonna return for season 3, but I think I'm leaving now. You didn't know you were sitting next to weird no fingernails, girl.
I mean, it was already a stretch because I haven't had my blue M&Ms. But
It's been rough.
It's been a whole season, So coming back for season 3, evidently blue M&Ms are harder to come by than I thought. But I'm BlueJay. You can find me on the internet at twitch.tv/BlueJay or on Twitter at BlueJay_712. You can find me on a bunch of other role-playing shows because I guess I just roleplay every day. Not every day. Most days. 4 days.
Yeah.
A lot of days.
Most days.
I'm playing Rachel Lucas. She's a human, 100% human, not weird tentacle hands. She's a basically think Princess Leia if she became a Force-using smuggler instead of General Leia. That's her. She's like 5'8"ish. She has like a brown braided mohawk that's like teased up, and just wears, you know, general smuggler like clothes, you know, tight enough to like not get caught on things, loose enough to hide lots of weapons, you know.
Important.
Yeah.
Important features.
Yeah.
And I am your GM for this lovely adventure. You can find me at Random Tuesday. So, let us begin. It is Tridium year 8.351. It has been, I want to point out, only about 90 days since the beginning of season 1.
Wow.
Those are Earth days. They move surprisingly fast when the galaxy is in jeopardy. We're about 1,000 years or so in our Earth's future. At this point, there is a unified galactic alliance of aliens called ICA, which stands for the Intergalactic Civilizations Alliance, comprised of humans and 4 other main alien races or species. And they provide some peace and stability and sort of economic stability and security for a good portion of about half the galaxy. The rest of the galaxy, the edges on the Centaurus and the Norma arms of the galaxy, are less touched by Ica in the sense that they are not at all controlled by them, and it's here where you'll find one might call them space pirates, one might call them spirates. You will find mercenaries or smaller civilizations that have less of a hold than Ica does in these larger regions, and that's where we find the crew of the Batleth, who about 90 days ago encountered a living ship, a Leviathan. And as a result of that, they also encountered a race of Leviathans who were a little less pleasant, known as the Rays. The Rays are bent on domination and destruction of the known galaxy, having largely consumed the sector that they were originally from. They're looking for fresh meat and new worlds to colonize in their own way by literally consuming and converting those that they encounter. The crew of the Batleth have taken it upon themselves, having joined forces with Sarin and Ariuta, the Leviathan and the Leviathan's voice, essentially the pilot, the captain, to prevent, ideally, this total galactic destruction from happening. And they have been working for the last period of a few months to gather weapons for the ship and eventually make their way back to the lab in which Sarin was created in, and hope to uncover some way of stopping the Rays. At this point, they are almost prepared to embark on what may be a one-way trip. So what?
She was giving a very dramatic recap, and the two of you are just like,
We got distracted by her death, and I was not okay.
I didn't say anything about dying. I just said one-way trip.
Yeah. We'll buy the ticket back when we get there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's not dangerous at all.
No, we're just gonna get there and decide we want to settle down
In
buy
the
some
Rays
property.
area.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you.
The property prices are real low over there.
I bet they are.
There's not a lot of
I'm
competition.
thinking about buying the farm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, but maybe I'll end up kicking the bucket instead.
Don't worry. Let's go out to pasture for a little while.
Wait, what?
So
It's funny when we say it. It's scary when you say it.
we
True
will remind ourselves of exactly what was happening at the end of last episode.
Yeah, because I wasn't here.
We left the crew of the Batleth. They had joined forces with a coalition of other members within this sector. With them were members of the Leonis Gynocracy, the Ouroboros family, and Ember's Dawn fleet of totally Knots pirates. And they, through combined effort, managed to stall a raised scout ship long enough for Thea, Kika, Ziana, and Ludwig van Claw, a small lion psionic.
Wasn't it Von Pelt?
Van Pelt, sorry. Van Claw was Commander Ottawa
Yeah.
Van Claw. Yes, Ludwig Van Pelt. As they snuck aboard the Rays ship, made their way to the core, found the Rays ship's voice, extracted psychically the map from the brain of the Rays itself, and managed to escape back onto the Batleth, and were then piloting their way past as the ships of the coalition, seeing the Batleth getting free, descended upon the scout ship and to destroy it. Thankfully, they outnumbered it significantly. So we're going to, at some point, flash back slightly to what happened with Rachel while she was on board Sarin, but I think we will jump into the crew of the Batleth, Ziana, Kika, and Thea, as they are racing their way back through space to make it back to the Batleth.
Because we're all in the cockpit.
Where
right?
would each of you be as you, as the ship actually began to pilot itself?
Wait, we're making our way back to the...
To Sarin. From,
Sarin, okay.
From the
in
Wraith
Batleth.
scout ship. In the Batleth.
Okay, I thought you said we're making our way
Yes.
back to the
No,
Batleth.
we have Ziana in the Batleth with the...
Yeah. So, Ziana is most definitely on the bridge piloting. And has probably been... So, back on the scout ship that we were just on the Hollow scout ship, Ray's scout ship full of Hollow, one of the Hollow that we encountered was from Ziana's race, the Andartan, and she has been, like, visibly shaken by this. Like, she is upset. Not in her usual, like, I'm annoyed at the world upset, but this is having an effect on her. So she went straight to the bridge and is pushing the Batleth for all of the speed that she can get out of it to get back to Sarin.
Captain, I feel I should tell you that I actually can't do it. I don't have the power.
There's no possible way. We can't just a little bit more.
I think Kika would be the one to talk to for that. You seem agitated. Please stop smashing the controls.
I'm fine. I'm not smashing. I am pushing them with authority.
Certainly. Shall I get Kika's attention?
Please do.
I think
Kika,
I've been like right here. Like, as we've established, underneath the communications bay, there is a small pile, a nest of wires and blankets, and
It's not at all a fire hazard.
No, it's underneath the communications bay.
Yeah.
And so Kika's like goes there when things get tough or she's bored. Yeah. I'm just gonna go
To the engine room.
yeah. Because I'm afraid if we don't make it go faster, you'll throw people off to make it go faster.
That's typically not a sound strategy.
You'll be surprised what she thinks of. And then like Kika like reaches out and like, hey,
Why are you touching me?
it's gonna be.
This is not the way Hexy does it.
Well, I'm not Hexy, right?
Well, I don't want you to do it the way Hexy does it.
Yeah,
I
then-
thought
then-
maybe you were trying to.
No,
I'm
no, this
very.
is, like-
I'm trying to pilot right now. This is.
To be fair, Kika's like, we've decided less than a meter tall, and has probably gotten on the edge of the chair and just like,
Yeah.
I-
What is it? What?
I know
What?
that you were alone fighting a bunch of things before, and you
I
can
wasn't
do
alone.
it.
Recall you came back at some point.
Yeah. I was, yes.
Why? What are you? Why?
I'm gonna. Oh, this is not helping.
Why? No.
This is not
No, this
helping.
is not helping.
Okay, bye.
I think Thea would have been at comms the whole time, but just really quiet. Like the last time she tried to give Ziana a massage, that did not work.
Constantly looking at me like, okay. And like uses the little hooks in the top and just like starts climbing out, goes straight through the hallway we've talked about, drops down, and immediately just gets in the darkness of the engine room, moving electricity around through wires, flipping the cables, taking stuff out, plugging it in, like, is this down right? Is this gonna make it?
Keep. Nope,
Nope, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Oh, thank you. That is awkward.
We're a team now.
Oh, this is going to be unpleasant, I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
from time to time.
Am I not supposed to chew your wires now? Is that
Please,
weird?
you were never, ever supposed to chew the wires.
Oh. But I feel like it's weirder now.
It's weird to me. Never. It's fine.
I think this is a cutaway.
I'm not there. It's fine.
I think Thea's just monitoring to make sure that like no one's following them or they're not picking up anyone on the way there that might be a threat.
As far as you can tell, almost the scout ship is, by the time you are a significant distance away, almost completely destroyed by, there are a solid number of vessels left in the coalition, and part of the reason they didn't destroy it before is because they needed to let you get aboard, not die, and then get off. So their job was to stall it. So now, knowing that you are no longer aboard, they have to go ahead to wreck its shit. And they seem to be doing it quite successfully. As far as you can tell, like at some point, some of the drones might get a little bit closer to you, but you manage to pick them off. So unless anything else happens on your journey over, we will flash back slightly to once Rachel has been left alone on this giant living ship that makes her feel really uncomfortable. So while you were there, at some point, Ari will come over to you and just sort of look at you. You're
What?
very uncomfortable.
You ever been swallowed?
You know that the Leviathan, Sarin can't eat you. You are,
No. I mean, I'm not well,
they can't digest this.
it's just, I feel surrounded at all times by,
A thing that is alive?
yeah.
Because you are.
Yeah, but I feel it.
Is that not normal?
I mean, not in this way. It's,
Because you're psionic. And most people aren't. Hexie talked a little bit about this. Are most... You don't know that you are.
it's been more on my mind recently than it has been ever. So,
Is there a reason you're afraid to be?
yes. But I don't want to talk about it.
Oh. You don't have to. It's just that... I mean, I can confirm that you are.
I'd rather you didn't.
I can pretend that I didn't. That'd be helpful. It's just that the less control you have, the more problems...
Trust me, I know.
Okay. I just... Would it help to talk to the ship? It's alive. You can have a conversation with it. So I can help translate, but you can talk to it.
That makes me very uncomfortable. I mean, I guess... Maybe?
It might make you feel less like you're being swallowed and more like you're being hugged. I've heard hugging is good.
And she's doing the whole, grimace of, I don't know if hug is better. But probably takes, a second to, weigh, pros and cons in her mind. And then she's like, I guess it couldn't hurt? You're not gonna do that thing with the purple...
No, that's your choice. This is just, so being a voice, you are I'm like a translator. I exist in the space in between everything and the ship. So I can translate the conversation into a way that you can understand it.
Okay. Yeah. That... I mean, like I said...
Close your eyes and take a deep breath.
And she does the whole, I'm gonna close one eye and grimace, and then close the other eye, and then, suck air into her teeth.
You're just making this uncomfortable. So Ari will kind of sit there for a moment, and you feel at first, it's not a pressure, but there's sort of a little bit of a weight in your mind, the way that you felt, sort of something settling on you. And you can sense your own sort of body, like your breathing, your rate, and all of, as you close your eyes, and your heart rate, your breathing, and all of those things. And then you feel yourself drop a level below, and you hear almost like a part of a musical, a portion of a symphony. And it's one note. And then you hear a deeper and much more resonant note. And at first they seem a little bit discordant. but then they start to line up. And the experience is very much like you are hearing a symphony, but you're not hearing the whole part of it. You're hearing just two parts. And one of them feels like yours, and one of them feels like the Leviathan. That is the deep, low, and resonant. And it's very soft, and it's very calm. And that goes on for as long as you kind of let that experience sit. And then when you sort of shift yourself back out of that awareness, Ari will just be kind of sitting there like, did it work?
And you can probably like at first she's closing her eyes and like holding her whole body tight, and her shoulders are very like rounded, and she's kind of like protecting herself. But as the notes of the song harmonize a little bit more, you can see her like relax and expand until her shoulders are probably even more relaxed than they usually are. And then she probably like slowly opens her eyes and blinks a few times and takes a deep breath in, and she's like, that helped.
I've been told that it's when there is a whole crew, it's a good song. There hasn't been a crew on this Leviathan before, but even a few more voices makes it less alone.
Why not?
Why hasn't there been a crew?
Yeah.
Sarin shouldn't have one yet. They're too young. They're not supposed to until they're older, but we had to not die. We needed to leave very, very fast.
The place where you would have found a crew.
Sarin was an experiment, and there wasn't enough time to let her grow up to be a Leviathan. The lab was destroyed, or attacked. I presume it was destroyed. So it was either both of us die, or we try and escape together.
And the Batleth, they're not...
They're here some of the time, but they come and go. We can't really exist in this sector without drawing a lot of attention to ourselves, so we have been staying back. Sarin is young. I am young compared to them. It wasn't supposed to be this way, but it is what it is, and I'm hoping to stop it from destroying your entire sector and this galaxy. Be nice. We caused this problem.
No one is ever 100% to blame. You shouldn't blame yourself. But things rarely go as planned. I can understand that, at the very least. Thanks, I guess, for not just running away. Can't deny I probably would have just run away.
I can understand. That's easy to do. But I don't think you are a runner, not as much as you seem to think you are.
It's safer to run.
But you're still here.
They convinced me there was nowhere to run to.
I think someone who is bent on running would have found somewhere to go. It's a big galaxy. Would have done something. If you ever want to know for sure, I can tell you if you are, what you can do. It's part of being a voice. We need to know. We're supposed to. So, but for now, I can pretend you are completely normal, not at all psionic, and have never been able to do that ever before in your life.
In the future, could you not use the verb pretend?
Yes. You are definitely not psionic. And she gets up and walks away. Oh, you're good with guns, yes? Because I can't fly the ship and also shoot them.
Yes.
Perfect. Let's do that.
That's one thing I'm not pretending about.
And some time passes, you shoot down many a fighter, and eventually the Batleth comes screaming through the airlock, skids into place, and the door closes behind.
That was good. I turned off the brakes for a little bit because we didn't need them for more energy. So I'm glad those worked back.
As long as we didn't crash the ship, it's fine. All right.
You didn't crash. You're fine.
Thank you, Oksana. And she gets up, walks right out into as the airlock opens and Ziana is heading out. Okay. I need to find them first. We have to get. What?
Oh, I think Thea leaves at the same time. Find who?
The fleet. All right. I have to think. We have to find them. There's usually a route. I can find some of the contacts. And she's just kind of mumbling to herself as she makes her way off to the bridge. I'm looking for not Sarin. Ariuta.
She'll come to you pretty soon after back behind you.
Probably,
There's a
I mean,
game of
because
rock,
there was a
paper,
whole
scissors happening.
big important mission that I'm sure other people care about, but Ziana doesn't really care about right now.
Good to know you didn't die.
You come upon them playing rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Oh,
As Ziana storms away.
And I'm like, I gotta go.
She's taking care of Ziana. Yeah, no, we're all alive.
What about that little one?
Oh,
The probably the lionesses. Actually, they're not on board yet. He probably like peers out and like sneaks away into the ship.
there he goes.
You know, I'm a little disappointed about that one.
Why?
That he didn't die.
Oh, yeah, you and me both. You know, he sat in my brain for a little while.
Poor Ludwig.
Yeah, I know.
That's like... I'm sure there are laws against that.
I can't fault
In parts
people.
of Ica, there probably are laws against using telepathy against someone's will.
I mean,
Actually, no, there probably isn't. There is an entire telepathic race
Yeah.
within species within Ica, and they're real pro telepathy.
Yeah.
They're allowed to because
They
they're
probably-
communication.
Yeah.
They probably have a real strong lobby.
There's a reason they don't like AIs into Ica.
Well, there ought to be. Anyway.
yeah, I agree. But it's not like I follow rules anyway, so who am I to tell someone else they gotta follow him? But if he tries to get in my head again, she's like thinking as if like he's nearby, like if you try and get in my head again, I'll make sure that he can't get into anyone else's heads.
Well, glad to see that you haven't changed much.
Why would I change?
I don't know, giant aliens.
It's been like 12 hours.
We were pretty certain everyone was gonna die.
It feels
Look.
like it's been weeks.
It's me. I'm perfect as I am, so I don't need to change.
You could still use a couple more lessons with the rifle. Nobody's perfect.
Are you volunteering or do I need to pay you again?
I mean, last time I'm pretty sure I paid you.
Yep.
So
it was an
again,
equal exchange of things.
favors. Anyway,
Yeah, anyway, so that's done. So I'm just gonna improve with my own skill of learning on my feet.
yep. And she probably, like, there's a little bit of her that is relieved that all of you didn't die because you're her ride and she might have grown attached to you. So she probably does, like, laugh a little bit when you are so Thea and then just, like, pats you a little too hard on the back and goes to do, like, something somewhere that's not here.
It's like stands around for a bit and like,
Like, I'm gonna walk in a direction and then,
And act like I know where I'm going.
then like
Done.
turn when I actually think of something, you know that? Yeah.
so apparently Ludwig inserts the idea that he stole something into Thea's mind, but she doesn't know what.
Nice.
Thea's like, she like after Rachel leaves, Thea like pauses for a minute and she's like,
Son of a bitch.
And then she like goes back to the ship to see if like she can search for like maybe he left like a clue or like something that she could like find.
There is a wrapper of a Mito Sticko and a mostly eaten Mito Sticko.
Thea keeps looking. It's in her brain.
Ziana, Kika.
I am not being stealthy, but I am not addressing that I am following you. This is all like the.
Okay, Ziana stops abruptly in a hallway, turns around. Do you need something?
I think you need something.
I am fine.
I'm not.
I am very clearly fine. Do you not see that I am
Oh.
fine? I am exactly as I always am, which is fine.
This is the you need to lift some weights. Fine. This is the I'm going to my quarters and not coming out for 2 days. Fine. This is my very nice Brandon Michaels jogger that was in a closet behind, suddenly went half missing. Fine.
What?
It's an alcohol.
Yay!
No, I got this. No, jogger.
Jogger.
Brandon Michaels jogger.
Brandon
It
Michael.
exists now.
Missing. Fine. You are the biggest captain I've ever met, and also the best captain I've ever met, and I've worked on a lot of ships. And I also know that while you are very good at what you do, not every problem can be punched in the face.
I don't need to punch this problem in the face.
Well, then what are you doing?
One of those
Yeah.
There are a very limited number of ways, Kika, that an Andartan could have been made into a hollow. A very limited number. And none of them are good, and one of them is very bad. And I need to know which it is. I need to find the fleet. I need to find my people. I need to know that they're still out there.
Then when do we leave?
As soon as I can find coordinates to get us out of here.
I'll prep the ship. I'll put some more food on it. I'll let Ari know that this is just a reboarding. Do you want to use her trip? Go. We got this.
Thank you.
Ship will be ready.
Bridge.
You arrive on the bridge as Ari. It looks like Ari and Ludwig had a conversation, but you didn't hear anything as you were approaching. They just sort of were looking at each other, and then she nods, and Ludwig like turns around, sees you, and just like quietly and then very quickly runs out of the room.
He is afraid of me.
I think he thinks you're going to send him back to the Leonis gynocracy, and he doesn't want to go. Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell you that.
Oh. Well, if he doesn't want to go, I'm sure there are ways we could accidentally not return him.
You remind him of the lionesses.
It's not
I
what I'm
think
here
it's
about.
a compliment.
I take it as a compliment, whether he means it that way or not. If he needs to stay or to be dropped off or to have been conveniently killed aboard the scout ship, I really don't care. That is his own business, and as long as we don't begin a war with the gynocracy.
I am certain between the Ouroboros and Ember's Dawn, who will be boarding soon, now that the fight is over, someone can have a stowaway. Also, do you know what I should do with Kika's son? I don't think he should stay here.
Where is he?
I had needed help during the fight, so he has been in engineering.
Oh. They're all engineers, are they? I mean,
He
her
wasn't
family,
very
not a
good at
treatment
it.
about the Trico. That would be.
But he kept
generalized.
insisting. Well, he shouldn't have been a pilot, and he definitely couldn't fire the guns. So I just sort of put him where he could be helpful. He didn't break anything.
That's good. That's good.
Also not like Kika.
Kika does put it back together again, at least.
He, regardless of whatever Kika thinks of the choices that he makes, he is his own individual. He can make his own decisions if he wishes to leave with the Ouroboros or whomever.
Yes, I think maybe Kika should talk to him before he leaves. I don't
Do you think so?
know how their family situation works. My parents were a little more protective than maybe some are.
My mother was not exactly the most is not exactly the most understanding person. I have about as much experience with this sort of thing as you do. I'm sure they'll work it out. But we can't keep him here prisoner. We're not going to keep him here
thank you.
prisoner.
I don't think he should stay here.
No, he won't. It would be dangerous, and I'm sure there's other dangers he wants to go confront.
Do you need something?
Yes. I need to...
You're not ready to go.
No.
Okay.
I think that we might need to, after we talk to the others and get all of the information settled, I have a number of different coordinates I would like us to try and reach out to communication. I need to try to find a fleet.
Of...
Andartans.
Oh, that makes more sense than just any fleet of ships. Because
No.
that also seemed easier than just finding, because there's some, right? So, the Andartans.
Yes.
Ludwig told me about something. One of the Hollow looked like an Andartan, he seemed to think.
Yes.
Are you worried something happened to them?
All of my people exist either on that fleet or in exile. And so either she was in exile or...
It was the fleet. We can go. It's best we take care of any unfinished business you might have. I don't know if you've figured it out or the rest of the crew have, but we might not make it back from the Premisa sector.
I had thought that would be a possibility, certainly.
It's a sector that is currently, as far as I know, controlled by Rays. They destroyed my entire civilization, so the odds aren't great.
Yes. I am prepared for that eventuality. Whether or not the others are, we will talk about it. But before we go, this is something that I need to do.
Of course. We can start looking if you give me coordinates as soon as we settle things with the coalition.
There are certain common civilizations and ports that my people trade with. We can reach out to them and see when the last time was that they encountered the fleet and locate them that way.
Sorin will be faster than your ship. It's
Yes.
a lovely ship. It's a nice...
I would rather get there
okay.
faster. You don't have to flatter my ego.
Okay. Right, I will start doing that. I need to process the map anyway that Ludwig gave me, and that will take some time, because it's a whole star map. There's a lot there. And she sort of immediately just turns around and, like, puts her hand on a console and just sort of closes her eyes, and is clearly seems to be doing something, or she fell asleep. You're like, I don't really know for sure, but I'm gonna assume the first one. At some point, the Leonis, the Ouroboros, and the Embersdawn, members of them will board. They will kind of go over a lot of the tactical plans, confirm like how many casualties there were, talk about what happened, what their next steps are. The major parts of the coalition will agree to kind of continue building support, as well as essentially set up as much security patrols as they can on places that Ari has identified as higher risk of having the Rays returning and showing up. and you will definitely notice at some point, like, the Leonis will start asking around where Ludwig is, and like the Emberson are like, oh, no idea where he is.
Can you remind me, Ouroboros was the one with the snake eating itself. Are
Yes.
those the Spirates, or was that Red Dawn?
Ember's Dawn was the mercenaries.
Okay, thank you.
Fleet.
Was the Ouroboros the rich family of
Yes.
like
Oh,
mafioso?
right,
The
right.
Ouroboros family were the mafioso. The Ember's Dawn fleet were essentially they were vigilantes. They were a fleet of vigilantes.
Because I remembered I was attracted to one of the groups and I couldn't remember.
Well, were you attracted to the one that looked like the Komodo dragon?
Yeah, I
Okay, then that
was.
would be the Ouroboros family. They are like stocky lizard-like. They sit on their tails.
Yeah.
They have sort of kind of shorter, stubby arms, like a little bit more of a snout.
yeah, they had teeth.
Yeah, like a little bit of drool all of the time. And Claudia's she likes
I like
Shark Boy from
monsters.
season 1, so that would be the Ouroboros family, and they will essentially all agree to the same sort of terms as the ship will go on to do its thing. Does Kika seek out Tylo at any point?
I think it's more of a roundabout kind of thing because she's directly like, I'm gonna prep the ship, so she spends like refueling. Lets Oksana like, hey, we're going fast. Like prepare to launch whenever. Like set the alarms.
What's happening, Kika?
Z wants to find her family because
Returning to the Andartans?
Yeah, there was an Andartan. There was an Andartan hollow, and that might mean that there's more of them. And if that's the case, we
That
gotta
is
take this down.
unfortunate.
Yeah. So she's gonna get a star map for you. I'll give you the details as soon as I can. Keep comms open.
Of course.
Okay. Do you need any other things for refueling, or is the normal parameters okay?
You do understand that even though I occupy this ship, I am not the ship.
Yeah, but it's you're in control.
It is the shell in which I currently inhabit.
Okay. Do I have permission to do my normal repair stuff?
Yes, you may repair this shell.
Okay, I'm gonna repair the shell.
Thank you for asking, Kika.
Yeah. This is gonna be new.
I am uncomfortable with this as well.
Yeah, but it's gonna. I haven't been this intimate with someone since Tarko, and that's weird.
That is more information than I ever needed. Kika.
So,
Please do not be intimate with my ship.
I have not considered that possibility.
but like it's clinical.
Can AIs experience this?
Oh boy. Pretty sure that's.
That's a question for another AI.
Yeah, let's get Karen up in here. Update.
I do not want to experience that with him.
Yeah, that would make sense. No, but so Kika's gonna like set all those up, like get refueling protocols started, get the check where it runs through to make sure what parts are need repair, and
It's just this very long list of parts that need repair.
Yeah,
and you're like, no, I've repaired
yeah.
that and that and that.
yeah, swipe. It just needs to go to factory settings. But actually, she's gonna talk to the Ember Dawn,
Okay.
and is gonna like set up like not a deal per se, but like a look. I need you to take
you're
one.
of these crew members.
And they all glow.
Glad you survived.
Yeah, me too. It was scary. It's fine. It's. We're not gonna talk about that. Listen. There is a small, my size, Trico in this
Okay.
space. I need you to ignore him sneaking onto your ship.
Why?
He needs to think that he did this on his own.
What are you, like his mother or something?
Yeah, I am.
Wait, I'm sorry. You are actually his mother,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're encouraging him to join the Embers Dawn?
No, if you want to let him join, be your guest. I want him to be a captain, but he's blind. Yeah, it's a long story. I thought
I don't understand what you want for your child right
he was
now.
gonna gonna be a best boy. He told me he was gonna go to the academy. And then he joined the
He's
Spirits.
gonna join Ica?
Yeah.
Ugh,
Look, they got connections. All I'm saying
I got
is
something.
he's going to try to sneak on because looking at your ship, no offense, there are some major Trico holes. He's gonna sneak in, just don't notice.
She clearly looks at the Batleth.
I made those Trico holes. Just let it happen. What do you need? Do you need a favor? Do you need a trade?
We're not gonna dump him overboard if he comes on. Thanks. But he should probably just talk to us like an adult.
I mean,
We're always looking for new members. It's a risky line of business.
he's a Spirate. I mean, he was a Spirate.
Who do you work for before?
There was a gang of Aratos. Not the. Yeah, he
Yeah, they
learned to
named
fight
him.
from them. He's got the same build. Like, he can throw a good kick. I haven't seen him murder a guy, but like, it wouldn't surprise me at this point.
I haven't seen him murder a guy.
Tertial's Flight under Captain Dratton.
Thanks.
He worked for the Tertial's Flight.
Yeah.
No, they're a solid crew.
Yeah.
Too spirity for our tastes. Not enough do-gooding.
Can you let him do good?
We are, I just want to be clear, we are not
Mercenaries.
spirits. We are also not mercenaries.
Okay.
We are justice in this sector.
Whoa. Very humble.
You're a militia.
Sounds like
You're perfect. Perfect. Yes. My son, Ember's Dawn. See it now.
you're a very strange mother. Why don't you go talk to your son?
Oh, I don't think he'd like that.
She like walks back on her ship. Kika, as you look around, you see, you experience
Yeah.
a small
Yeah, here.
Trico-sized
I can hear the
figure.
click.
Yeah, you
We
know,
can hear
what
each
you're
other's
listening
click.
for, and it's your son's click. Like you recognize
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's that like, I've had to raise this, and it's like sort of hanging onto the side of the ship, like right above the door as she's like going through it.
I think she screeches something high pitched to him, something that most people can't hear.
What does it mean, or what does he say?
I think it's just like, I'm sorry, I wasn't a good mother. Kids can't fix a marriage, it's not your fault.
Deep shit. She's like screeching. Just casual. Like he pauses when you say, "I'm sorry, I was a bad mother," and just sort of looks at you.
I
And
am
like
proud of you.
starts climbing down and moving across the room. Stands in front of you.
I think she gets a little bit lower. You did good. I want you to live longer than me.
You're still alive, Mom.
Yeah. That's all luck. I want you to live because you got people covering your back, and you got a place that protects you.
Mom, you just went into a ship that could totally have killed you. I'm glad you're still alive.
Me too.
Don't tell me what to do.
Okay. Well, God.
Heard you talking to them.
Yeah, you hear really well.
It runs in the family, Mom.
You're so hard to talk to.
She is easy to talk to.
Try them out.
They seem alright.
I think they have a moral compass that's more. Do you remember when you were a kid and there was that girl next door, Lazary?
Yeah.
Lazary, no good.
That wasn't her actual last name, Mom. That's just what you called her.
She was
'cause
no good for you.
You
You were
said
bad.
that. You were always like, it's Lazary. She's no good. And I was like, no, her name's Lazary Smith.
Yeah, okay. Well, Lazary, no good.
This is how we got Dankula.
I'm writing this down.
You made sure, even after she broke your heart, that you made sure she got out okay. You're a good kid.
Yeah,
You're a
'cause
good
it would have
son.
been like a jerk move.
You're not a jerk. Be a protector. Stop being a pirate. And gosh darn it, stop shaving your name into your skin.
Okay, I'll stop doing that when you stop letting someone dye your hair. Yeah, I heard.
You can't see it though.
I know, but I heard about it.
Smell it.
I can smell it. Smells different. Fine, I'm gonna go.
Okay, write a lot.
You can ask.
Send me a sound card.
Okay.
Your sister has mangoes. When do you want one?
I'll go visit her myself.
Great. She misses you. She's got 3 grandkids. Or my grandkids. Your nieces, nephews. Child.
God, she kept popping them out.
Oh, I know. I'm pretty sure they're gonna raise a farm.
Like, walks back over to the ship and like looks around and then squeezes into a hole.
Meep meep. Am I bad at this?
Me, that at what? Thea is still searching
Oh.
for whatever it was that Ludwig stole. Because she's sure it's something.
Meep meep. Am I not good at... I love you, by the way. Do you know that?
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really do. I'm proud of you.
Great.
Except for when sometimes you steal things that belong to others.
I never do that often.
I'm glad
Why
I
are
can't hear
you-
this conversation.
I don't want you to die. Take care of yourself. Don't tattoo your name into your neck.
What are you about to do?
Nothing. I want to remind you that I care about you.
Where are you?
Like probably 10 feet away.
She's like in the docking
Oh
bay.
my god.
Like you walk outside of the Bat'leth and Kika is there.
Texting from the other room.
Meet me, like, I know you're not my daughter, but like, and sometimes we act like siblings, and sometimes I act like your mom. Like, we're kin. We're sisterin.
Don't try to put a label on it.
I know.
You don't die either, you know, 'cause that would be that'd be kind of shitty if you died.
Yeah.
I feel like Rachel like walks past onto the ship and is like, "You two are doing that thing again, aren't you?"
Yeah.
You know, you can talk out loud.
No.
right?
What's the fun in that?
And
Not
then
these
like
thoughts.
continues on.
Well, she
Rolls
hasn't
her
changed
eyes.
either.
You like that.
I do not.
You
I do
like
not.
that. Let me out.
Come on. As long as you don't say I like that, because obviously I don't. It's not cool.
And like fingers like in, just poofing.
Are you like climbing like?
I'm
Okay.
poofing it up.
In her hair. Eventually, all of the coalition vessels, like a lot of it was just like small travel pods and sort of fighter ships, all depart. At this point, you have no real knowledge of the whereabouts of Tylo and Ludwig, as they are definitely no longer on the ship. And Ari will call to you saying that she has the first coordinate. They can head to it.
Okay. So, beep beep through comms so we can all hear it, so we can all partake in this.
Wait, even to Rachel?
Even Rachel.
What?
I know, right?
I also want to point out that Oksana can't hear you when you meet.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
If everyone could meet us on the bridge now,
And
please.
head to the bridge.
Thank you.
I'll just listen from here.
I appreciate that you stared at me the entire time.
Beep.
I'll just listen from here, Captain.
Thank you, Oksana. And so when everybody joins us on the bridge,
Would you still be like?
I'm still puffing it.
are
Okay,
you
cool.
poking out from inside
I am
the
not
hair?
in it. That's disrespectful.
Okay.
I am not a monster.
Okay.
I mean, by some
It
definitions,
definitely
you are.
feels like cotton candy, though. Like, you gotta point that out.
Oh gosh. So on the bridge, since everything has not been explained to everyone, Ziana starts to explain. Rachel, when we were on the scout ship getting the coordinates for the Ray's base, we encountered a hollow that was from my race, from the Andartans. We need time in order to interpret the star maps anyways, and so we're going to take a detour.
How much time exactly? Because, home, husband.
I am aware the detour will not take too long. And if you wish to go back to... Where the fuck is the name of that? Duranga. If you wish to go back to Duranga before we go on to the Ray's homeworlds, then we can certainly make that happen.
It's not been, how long has it been since, we
Actually,
left?
calculated this, but it's on a different piece. The entirety of season 2, from start to finish, took about a month and a half, so it's probably been
For
less than a
what
month.
we've talked about already, is Deckard probably at home?
He'd probably be on his way back to Duranga.
Okay. So Rachel is probably I told you Deckard's on his way back, and I'd stay as long as he was gone, but
Is your man unable to function without you there? If he needs your assistance, then I can certainly understand.
it's not that, but thank you for underestimating my choice of partner. Lovely. No, it's just that if the universe is about to end, I'd prefer to spend what time we have with him, and we can be useful. We've got connections. We can spread the word or whatever.
And I would be very happy to take you back to Duranga after we have found the fleet.
Can't we just
No.
no?
No.
Then give me a ship.
We don't have a ship to give you.
So now I'm just along for the ride, whether I want to or not.
It will be a short ride. Aryuta, have we had any kind of communication back from the posts?
I sent a message and I couldn't interpret the response, and she hands it to you, and it is clearly in the Andartan language.
Oh. All right then. Well, what does it say?
It would provide essentially a series of coordinates that you could use to follow the location of the fleet.
Okay.
I sort of assume they kind of leave drops at various outposts.
We can definitely find them with this. And she kind of helps Aryuta to translate it, to figure out where it is. And how long do you think it would take us to get there with the Sarin?
Should be fast with Sarin, a day or so.
I can do a day.
We'll need to stay... Sarin will need to stop somewhat out of sensor range of the fleet.
They're going to attack us?
I don't think so. I am less concerned about their attacking. It's complicated. My people, we live on a fleet of ships, and there are only so many resources to go around on that fleet. I am in exile. In general, when exiles return, it is expected that they return with something to offer the fleet.
And you
I
think
do not want anything to be misinterpreted.
Right. Okay. That can be done.
Very well. So, a day, we will take the bat left the rest of the way. It won't take long. We will confirm that they are unharmed and let them know what is happening if they have not heard already, and then we will depart. I'm sure they will not want me to linger any more than any of you want to linger there. All right then. Any questions?
So they're all like you?
So you were exiled?
It's complicated.
Like my son complicated?
Like my family complicated?
You see, a long time ago, a very, very long time ago, the Andartan Empire, it was vast, it spanned worlds, but there was a war. They attempted to conquer the wrong nation and the wrong planet, and were beaten back to our homeworld, Andarta Prime, which is no longer inhabitable. All that is left of my people are those on the fleet, and there are very limited resources when you live in space spread out amongst a number of ships. We don't reproduce very quickly, but numbers climb, and if the resources cannot support a certain amount of population, there is an exile. Every few years, people are chosen. You either volunteer or you lose in battle, in ritual combat. And the exiles are put on a ship, sent to an outpost, and left there, not to return.
So you actually lost a fight.
No, she can't lose a fight.
You volunteered?
I left of my own volition.
Yeah, I didn't think you lost a fight.
That seems very unlikely.
I'm trying really hard not to be flattered by that.
Try harder.
I was exiled. Exiles are not allowed to come back without something that will substantially improve the well-being of the fleet. I have no such thing to offer.
I mean, won't not dying to a bunch of voracious aliens be something to offer?
I suspect they don't view knowledge as important as physical resources.
There's always some kind of threat, no matter where you go, when you live the way that they do. Knowing about another one, and besides that, my people are warriors. I don't think they would much care about knowing about another thing they could battle.
What about a bunch of crates of Mito Stigos? We could get rid of all those.
It's not... They trade, they do what they need to do to get resources. Also, the vanilla ones are delicious, and it's not something that you bring just to allow them to eat another few days. It has to be something that will allow the Empire to move closer to its former glory.
Can we expect any sort of aggression when we show up?
They are Andartans.
Sounds like...
So yes, I will stay back with Sarin.
What about, I mean, Kika fixes things and makes things. Maybe she can make a thing that will help them.
Oh my god, I have not made a thing. I made a box.
In all of the years that this has been the way of my people, I think there have been maybe 1 or 2 exiles that have been welcomed back into the fleet. It is not a common occurrence. The council would have to, and besides that,
it's fine. I mean,
it's not important.
I was just spitballing.
I don't need to be brought back. I just need them to tolerate my presence long enough to see that they are well and to tell them what is happening. There may be complications. I don't think anyone would be harmed. It is not generally their way.
Okay, I am going to plot a course, and as soon as we're within the system, the Batleth can take you the rest of the way.
Yes. They will not fire upon us.
Well, if they did, we could fire back, right? If they do.
They will not.
I mean,
once they know it is one of their own, there aren't enough of us that they would kill someone.
maybe things have changed. One of them was a hollow.
They won't fire on me.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Well,
Cube?
yep.
Okay.
We head to the copulation cube or whatever its
Companion.
existing
Oh my goodness.
version of
Just
that
call it the
cube
cube.
is.
The cube.
The cube. We're not going for copulation purposes. We're just going to hang out.
We're going
I want to
for
be super clear about this.
conversation.
Conversation.
The conversation cube. Work on your branding.
Conversation cube. We're headed to the conversation cube.
The mic is right in front of me. I don't know where to turn to laugh anymore. Oh God. Okay.
And the tension is all gone as you leave the room. And Ari plots a course. You make your way there as you travel. It's about a day or so passes, and eventually the message comes over the comms that they are within the system. They can't identify the exact location of the fleet in the system because that would put her in comms range of the fleet itself, and she has been told to stay out of that. So you'll need to send the Batleth out to go the rest of the way.
And we do that.
Oksana is like, well, this should be fun. You don't suppose they'll take me?
Do you? What, in trade?
No, I am an artificial intelligence. I don't know how the Andartans view artificial intelligences.
To be honest, as inferior if you lack some sort of body that can hold a weapon. They're traditionalists.
Do you think the Batleth's weapons are insufficient?
They will not fire on me.
You didn't tell them why, did you?
They don't need to know that.
You know they're going to find out, Captain.
Just
It will be fairly obvious at
just
some point.
give me a little longer
Okay, Captain.
before I have to deal with this. It's hard enough knowing that I'm going to see her again.
Which one are you more or less worried about?
Definitely Mother.
And the Batleth eventually comes into comms range of what you see. Can you go ahead and describe what they would see, the fleet, from a distance?
So, the Andartan fleet has very little about it that would suggest any kind of cohesiveness. There are some ships that look like they were made by the same race, but otherwise you can identify ships that were originally from various other races. The Batleth would in no way look not at home amongst the fleet. Ships have been cobbled together from pieces of other ships. They have been repaired in very kind of slapdash sort of ways. The only commonality amongst them is on the side of each ship is an identifying emblem, which is the symbol of the ancient Andartan Empire, which really no longer exists, but
What does that look like?
I don't know. Something probably very
a
like
sword.
yeah, something
like,
very
behind a rising
militaristic
sun.
and very like Roman Empire, we are the best.
Is it just like one of these?
On these junky ships. No, not an arm. But yeah, like a sword with
With a
something
buff arm.
very and something very like
Not this one.
conquering.
I mean, you got some muscles.
There's
Is it
not
just-
no
Is
muscle.
it just like a sword? I'm gonna
Planted
just,
in a field of blood.
I mean, that's actually really
There's a
great.
sword
The bottom was all
poking
red,
out
and
of a
then there
skull.
was like that would be pretty iconic. Like I'm not.
You just stab
hating.
the skull in a field.
like-
Not quite so violent, more universe
Like,
leader.
A sword just being in the ground and in the ground like a red line. Like
I don't know.
we'll talk.
Talk later.
Brand.
We'll talk branding later.
But yeah.
I mean, Kika. I don't know. I'm like Kika can't see it.
So this is the fleet, and there are many ships of various sizes, but there would be maybe 2 main large ships. And it's one of those large ships that Ziana starts to head the battle towards. But as she enters comm range, she opens a channel, and in Andartan says, in Andartan says,
Kapla.
this. Why you do this to me, Bluge? Says, this is Captain Ziana Taldroxisto of the Batleth, requesting permission to dock.
The response comes back. Ziana Rendrathi Taldroxisto, you are in exile. You have no right to return unless you have an offering.
I have very...
Just say we have an offering.
I have a very important information.
There's a very long silence that hangs. in the voice.
I am not seeking return. I am only seeking a brief audience.
You have been granted an audience. May your visit be brief. Exile, you may dock.
She shuts off the comm. It will be as brief as possible.
Glad they didn't shoot us.
They would not shoot me.
When you dock, the ship lines up and the airlock, I lost that word for a moment. The airlock opens and you're greeted by 2 large female Andartans. One is probably a much sort of a darker brown, and the other one, you said they kind of range from green to red, is sort of a deeper green color, a similar sort of structure of the sort of flatter faces, the large plates. One of them, the green one, has much shorter cropped hair. The other one has a very long braid that she's wearing down the back. They're both clearly armed. And in the center, there's someone you recognize. It is not your mother. It is your sister.
We don't. That's what I mean.
Did you decide what she looked like?
What
Color she is?
So she is probably also red, the same color. About at least 6 inches shorter than Ziana.
Smaller.
And a bit more slender. Like, she could still, still looks like she could kick ass, but looks like she could kick ass maybe by human standards.
So I might have a chance of beating her in
Just don't get into one-on-one armed, like fisticuffs with her.
Okay.
The trick is to maintain your distance.
Got it.
Until they throw things.
And she stands
I
there,
also throw
and
things?
you see a smile on her face, and she sort of has one hand on her hip, and she's like, Ziana Rendrathi Taldroxisto.
Fiara,
What brings you back here?
I have much to say. I have much to inform the Terathi.
She said I told her she should listen to you.
I appreciate that.
Are you ready? Friends are welcome to come too. They look cute. This entire conversation happens in Andartan. You just see her looking at them.
I see her gesture at us, and I'm probably standing at the door, not in the airlock yet, and I've got my probably my rifle casually leaned on my shoulder. I'm not aiming it. It's probably not even on. And I see her looking and gesturing to us, and my eyes narrow, and I'm I'm pretty sure
She
we were just
100%
insulted.
winks at Rachel.
Okay. I guess
Swallows.
you have an admirer. Because I think Thea would also be
Yeah, we're just
Toward the
standing
back,
we're standing back there waiting for
so she'd
whatever
be
this is.
oh, congrats.
I have mumbles, flushes a little bit.
Oh.
They are my crew. They come with me.
Onwards.
And then he goes,
Exile, she adds on at the end, as the guards give her a little bit of a dirty look. And you are led down a corridor, and you kind of
Do they ask us to take our weapons off or anything?
no,
Nice.
not at all.
And in fact, Ziana has her sword on full display.
Nice.
Um,
I'm into it.
You are led down a like a long corridor, and it kind of opens up into a wider and slightly better kept hallway. And eventually at the end you reach sort of the equivalent of double doors, like a very large doorway that slides open. And inside the room is probably one of the more elaborate decorations. It's still fairly austere, but you can see there's artwork on the walls. There's the display of the emblem of the Andartan Empire. There's more color in this room. And there is a sort of a large, what you would interpret as kind of a war table. Like this is where people sit around and meet. And at the head of it, there is a chair with a woman who looks, if anyone could be larger than Ziana, it would be this woman. But the same deep red color. Her hair is worn like fairly long and just sort of draped over her shoulders. I imagine she has like a very sort of simple, almost circlet, but looks a little bit like a helm, like it kind of goes down sort of around the sides of her face, and has some sort of the like horns almost that stick upwards. It kind of has a very warrior feel to it, while also very clearly reading as a sign of royalty. And she is wearing armor and then sort of this robe kind of slung over the top of it. And she's looking at something, some piece of paper, some tablet in front of her. And she looks up and sighs when she sees Ziana. And just gestures at a seat. And there are several chairs that are pulled up around the table.
So, Ziana, when she enters...
Your sister very clearly sits at her right-hand side.
So when she enters, Ziana bows respectfully, a hand on her shoulder.
Thea doesn't.
Yeah, I was like,
And kind of motions for everybody to sit down and takes a seat, perhaps a little tentatively to make sure it's fine, everything's fine, it's cool.
Fiona, Fiara convinced me to hear you speak.
Is this still in Andartan, by the way?
She will actually choose to speak in the common
Okay.
language that everyone understands, out of respect for the guests and the crew.
I appreciate that, Mother. Tarathi.
You are an exile. You chose to be an exile. It better be important while you are back.
Have there been any attacks on the fleet?
No. Apart from a brief skirmish with some Erratos. Nothing. Nothing of consequence. Why do you ask?
I bring news. I bring news of a force, an alien force, bent on the destruction of not only Ica, but of the system entirely.
Is this perhaps related to the message that seems to have unfortunately played across all of our systems simultaneously? That certainly included your delightful face.
Yes, it does.
Do you have anything to do with why that message happened to play across all of our systems simultaneously and without any of our control?
Yes, I did.
She seems like a little weirdly proud of that, as if like that was a sort of a very tactical maneuver, but also like a little miffed because they lost control of their systems. Those creatures, what do you know about them?
They are the rays, the creatures that they produce. The rays are the ships, the creatures that they produce are the hollow. We have recently encountered one. We are on a mission to destroy them at their source. We recently encountered a ship, a scout ship, and on that ship was an Andartan turned into one of their hollows. They assimilate creatures that they find and make them mindless drones for their armies.
As Yana says that, like, Druxisto, she just lets out, like, a slew of swear words and, like, tears around with something on her and pulls up a tablet and, like, swipes up something that would explain the ship we lost.
I think, like, when she, like, spews out the, like, curse words and, like, goes down for something, like, Rachel, like, puts her hand on her gun, and then, like, when it's just a tablet, she, like, lets it go and puts it back in her lap.
As soon as Thea hears a ship, she's like, a whole ship? It just comes out. And then she's like,
We lost a scout ship. There was, at most, 3 of our people on board. I didn't know what could have taken something. Apart from a warship.
Where was this?
They were, and she names the sector that, the Ray's ship came from.
Yes.
They had gone to seek out resources in that sector. We hadn't made contact there for a while.
It is likely that they encountered the rays and were overcome. No small force could withstand them. Mother, if you encounter them, you should run.
We do not run.
You
Not
cannot,
all of us, at least.
You cannot face them. It is foolish.
We are Andartan.
You do not have the forces.
You are not queen here.
You do not have...
I feel like Rachel, like, slowly raises her hand.
I'll get to you in a minute. You abdicated your title here the day you chose exile. You have no authority in the Andartans anymore. Yes.
Maybe we could use, I mean, the fleet that we had before was small-ish, and if they insist on fighting, there's a fight. I mean, I'm gonna shut up now.
We would be interested in considering fighting alongside others against a formidable opponent.
The most formidable person I've ever met is the one next to me.
She just sort of stares at Kiko when she says this, doesn't say anything.
That's all right.
I may not be your heir any longer, but Feara is. What do you think, sister?
Oh boy, hoping you were. She like looks like she's like, We should assist if there is a war to be had. We cannot stand by, but we also shouldn't fight if it is just us. We cannot win. And fighting an unwinnable battle is what led us to being this fleet. Just backs down. Druxisto, the queen, just sighs. I will take this under advisement and whatever other information you can provide us.
I will provide you with what I know. It is hopefully soon to be a moot point. We are, from here, headed to their homeworld.
Sort of pauses and her brow would furrow if they were blades of armor, but the armor dips down slightly. She reaches out a hand, like clasps, like to clasp your hand. And holds it for a moment and kind of pulls you in across the table. Good fortune.
To you as well.
Waves you out of the room, goes back to reading her papers. Feara stands up and is like...
Yeah.
And as the door closed behind you, she sort of looks... I think I have something you might be interested in.
What?
One of the scout ships, they came back, and they had a message that we didn't really understand. They said it was from, they referred to themselves as Best Boy. They said you would know what that meant and come find them if they can, and then they gave us a code. Some data. She pulls it out. They looked specifically for you. They sought out the Andartan. They said they knew one of us.
Yes. I will take this. Thank
Hands
you.
it over to you.
Y'all look like you've seen a ghost.
Fiara.
Was this all in common?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No. Let me see.
Ziana.
Oh, read it to me. Read it to me. Read it to me.
May I have a moment?
Oh.
Fiara. You would be a better leader than I could possibly have ever been. But please, listen to me. I know that war is our way. I know that it is in her blood to want to conquer and to face anything that may stand against us. But this is not something that the fleet can fight. No sword will take down everything. No sword will take down the rays. Do not risk our species.
I will
Out
not
of
risk
pride.
the galaxy for our own safety. We are warriors. I will not put the entire Andartan at risk, but if there is a fight that we can help with, we should. And I know you would do the same in our position. Because you are clearly doing it now. You are terrible at practicing what you preach, Ziana. And I'm glad that you are my sister.
Likewise.
Don't die.
May your enemies fall before you. She reaches over as she turns around and puts a hand on Thea's shoulder. Let's go.
Let me guess, another detour? It's fine.
You'll be surprised.
Okay, we need to get back to the Batleth and get this.
Plug it in.
Yes.
And Oksana sort of takes a moment and processes it and very quickly comes back with, these are energy signatures, Captain. We can trace them.
Good.
Right.
We are going
There's-
to.
A set of starting coordinates. If we follow them, it should lead us to Best Boy.
Just to be clear, we are not talking about what just happened.
What is there to talk about?
Which part do you want to talk about?
I mean,
You know, family's complicated.
fair. I'm just gonna go take care of the engines.
I will plot a course.
Rachel, do you want to help me reach the really tall things in the engine?
Do I have to?
Yeah.
All right.
As Kika starts to head out, Ziana, meet me mentally to Kika alone and says, the first time you call me a princess will be the last.
And that is where we will pause for our first half. Family is complicated. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for this first half. We will be back after a quick break, but before that, I'm going to read. Yeah, I'm going to read our donations or our sponations that came through. We're going to take a quick break. We're totally not going to change anything on the screen, and then we'll be right back for the second half of this episode. Ziana, warrior princess, not at all subtle. Not at all subtle.
I mean, if Kika calls her that once, I'm pretty sure Kika will not finish the sentence. that she was using.
I mean, now that it's in her brain, how will she be able to stop herself?
Didn't
Right?
refresh.
Kika's not Thea. Like, Kika
If-
has some
yeah,
control.
that's true.
If Thea
If you-
hadn't been immediately hit with best boy, I would have to be worrying about you too.
Oh, I have to look.
Yeah, but she's got a lot on her
Yeah,
mind right now.
fortunately.
You're lucky.
I'm really sad that your weapon isn't like a curved like disc that you
Like a-
throw.
like a-
chakram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would
Can we
be
get you one of those?
amazing. Huh? Yeah, absolutely.
I
I mean,
I
sure.
bet that's what her sister uses, right?
Totally.
Yeah,
totally her
yeah,
thing.
100%.
It's totally her thing. Okay.
You got the
Okay.
visa.
516. We're at 516.
We're gonna do. Oh my goodness, guys.
Okie dokie.
Okay. So here's a bunch of
The
plots.
first donation that came through was from William_TW with $26.74. Great to see you all again, all at your rightful place. Let's start season 3. Demolition 1 with $5. Spunny Spouse, people speak. Keep up the great work, everyone. Happy to have you all back for season 3 of this series. Thank you. Top of Thea's wig, $5.69. It's cold up here. When do I get to be on this show? Hashtag Team Bowerbottom. Hashtag Team Sparkletop. Hashtag Team Upper Stratosphere. Hashtag literally closer to space.
Adore.
And the book snail with $10 and no message. That was the message. It was just gasps.
Oh.
A sharp inhale and exhale. Diana Moon with $10. So happy this show is back. Y'all are awesome. Less than 3. Great storytelling. And yay, Best Boy is coming back. Slams a Fountain Dew in honor.
Did we get rid of all of the Mountain
we
Dew on the
don't.
ship?
We didn't.
Shrine.
I also.
in the cube.
We couldn't.
I'm so happy about something. And it's fine. Thank you so much for joining us. In the meantime, enjoy this fan art during our break. Drink some water, go stretch your bodies, and we will be
Lay on
back
the ground.
shortly for second half of this episode. Bye.